Hi everyone, welcome to the Laser channel where we learn, create, and share. My name is Greg, and in this video, I'm going to share my basic steps of installing the Rotary Chuck in the Xtool S1 machine. I'm also going to share my basic steps for preparing the glass so that it will accept the engraving process. Let's get started. This is all really straightforward, but one of the most common mistakes people make is they have the rotary unit, the motor side is on the other side facing the other side of the machine, and the motor side of the chuck, even if you're using the roller unit, the motor side does have to be on this side, otherwise your engraving is going to turn out backwards. On my machine, I have the height extension kit already installed. This is going to give me the proper clearance between the rotary chuck and the laser head. Before installing the rotary chuck inside the machine, I do want to bolt on the correct jaw accessories, and that's going to depend on the shape of the glass that I'm using, whether I'm going to be grabbing the outside or having the jaws expand to the inside of the glass, which is what I'm going to be doing for today's sample project. My rotary chuck is a part of the RA2 kit that was originally for the D1 Pro, and those connectors looked something like this. It had these computer type looking connectors. The S1 machine does not use that. It uses this other type of cable that looks like this. So I did have to contact Xtool and order one of these. Not a big deal. It only costs a couple of dollars, and that little connector is right in the spot here. This is the glass that I'm going to be engraving today, and I installed the jaws that are going to expand to the inside of the glass because the outside is starting to taper down. If I grab from the outside, the jaws are just going to slip off. When I grab from the inside, the tighter I make it, the more it's going to draw the glass into the jaws, which is exactly what I'm looking for. I'll use the level that comes with the RA2 kit to make sure that the glass is level. I did have to adjust this side of the glass to bring it up a little bit. If you're doing a different style glass, you might have to raise this end of the rotary chuck up. Making sure that this is level is going to make sure that the laser stays in focus throughout the engraving process. And lastly, I'll take the measuring tape that comes with the RA2 and I'm going to measure the circumference of the glass and jot that down on a piece of paper. We're going to be using that once we jump into the computer. But next, we need to prepare the glass so that it will accept the engraving process because the blue laser diode does not interact with just the plain glass. I need to put something on top of that glass that is going to absorb the laser energy and then transfer it into the glass, and that's what we have here. Let's go over to the table and check out how I apply this black tempera paint. The paint I'm using is Praying Tempera Paint from the Dollar Tree. Seems to work pretty well and I get really good consistent results. I also found that getting these spray bottles from the Dollar Tree, this is what it looks like. I'll also have more information down in the video description for you to check these out. Getting one of these little spray bottles really simplifies things, and it's a lot less to clean up afterwards because I can simply keep the paint in the spray bottle for the next time I need to use it. I do need to water the tempera paint down. I use 1 part paint to 1 to 2 parts of water, and I get a nice spray out of the nozzle, and let's check that out now. Here's the glass that we saw before, and this already has about 2, maybe 3 coats of the paint on. I will end up having to put 4 altogether. The first coat has to go on very light so that the paint doesn't run. The second coat is also light, filling in some of the gaps, but let's get this sprayed up. I've also pre-warmed the glass. That also helps it dry faster and helps reduce any of the running during the drying process. Get this shaken up, make sure everything's good, and just a couple nice spritzes to get a nice even coat. And this is exactly what I'm looking for, is an even coat where I can't see any daylight through that paint. It has to be a nice even coat. If I have a splatter texture on there, that splatter texture will show up in the engraving. While this is drying, let's head over to the computer and check out the software setup in the Xtool software for that rotary chuck. I have the machine connected up to the software, and we see that I already have the first graphic loaded in. It's a nice circle with a clover leaf. When I click on that, I've got it set to engraving. The power and the speed and the lines per centimeter have already been set. These are settings that I use when I have the 40-watt laser module in the S1. If you're using a laser module with less wattage, you'll need to increase the power or reduce the speed. Right now, the machine is set up to process on the base plate or flat work. I'll click on this and it's going to open up all the accessories that I can connect to the machine. And I want this one, Rotary Chuck. And the very first thing I need to do before I start diving into the setup of everything is that circumference measurement that I took way back when we were inside of the machine. I want to enter that in up here. And then that's going to be right here. And I can drop this down. I can do diameter or perimeter. And I'm going to click on perimeter. And right now I'm on inches. So I'm going to go over and to my settings and switch that over to millimeters. There we go. And now I can enter in that 272 millimeters that I measured and wrote down. That looks good. Now the next thing I need to do from here is go and set the focus of the laser. So just as you would before, the easiest way to find the center line of the glass is to actually look for that shaft that connects the pulley up to the chuck. I'll use the rod crosshairs and move the laser head around until I'm happy with that. And I'm going to put the crosshairs at the very top of where I would like the graphic to be. And that's also where we're going to be setting the focus of the laser. Focus is complete and the machine updated what the screen is going to look like in the Xtool software. Let's go back to the computer and check that out. We now have this green line going across the screen and the red crosshairs of the actual position of the laser head. This is going to represent the center line of the glass. The dimensions are 2 inches by 2 inches, just like this Post-it. And what I'm going to be doing for this graphic is what's wrapping around the glass, I'm going to stretch that out a little bit because just like this 2 by 2 Post-it, if I measure it, I'm obviously going to get 2 inches. But now when I start adding curvature, like it's the curvature of the glass, it's going to start to appear like it's narrower from your point of view. It's still 2 inches. It just looks odd that it's not actually 2 inches. So to overcome this, what I'm going to do is make sure that I have this unlock the aspect ratio, and I'm going to take the width and I'm going to add about 10%. So it's now going to be 2.2 inches. And that stretches that out, effectively making this look a little bit wider. The other thing that I'm going to do is rotate my graphic. The opening of the glass is on that side of the machine, or in the computer, the opening of the glass is on this side. So I'm going to grab the rotation handle just like you normally would and rotate that over. And the crosshairs of the actual laser are set at the uppermost point of where I'd want the graphic to be. So I just need to move this down until it snaps to that center line. And that's it. I'm ready to start running my project. I'll throw some background music in and make a little video montage of the project being framed out and processed. So I'll catch up with you in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail. A little over 4 minutes later, and the engraving is complete. One very important thing here, if you are running more glasses, very important not to move the laser head or the rotary chuck. Here's what the glass engraving looks like. I'm going to take this inside, get it washed off and dry it out, and we'll see what this completed engraving looks like. The tempera paint washes away really easily under some warm running water with virtually no scrubbing needed. And I'm left with this beautiful engraving with all the clean, crisp detail I was looking for. And if that last camera angle didn't give us a good view of that engraving, here's another one really highlighting just all of the detail and clarity of the engraving. This is my go-to method when I'm using a laser diode machine to engrave glass. This cheap little spray bottle from the Dollar Tree with some watered down temper paint is my go-to method. I get very clean detail on the engraving and it's very consistent. And most of all, I'm using temper paint so there's no fumes when I go to spray it on, and it washes off very easily with water, making cleanup of the project a snap. Thanks for joining me in this video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Not only is it a great way to help the laser channel grow, it's an excellent way to connect video content like this with other great viewers just like you. Well, until we meet again in the next video, learn, create, and share.